Hello to my Aquarius. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Let's get right into it. Let's get into it. Let's see what's going on here. See what's going on in your reading. See what's going on in your reading. Happy last quarter moon in Pisces. Happy last quarter moon in Pisces. You want to pay attention to your body. You want to pay attention to your body. You want to pay attention specifically to your feet, your toes, your pineal gland, your third eye is opening. You want to know when to walk away from things. Okay, so let's get right into your reading. Let's get right into your reading. Okay, let's see what's in your cards. See what's in your cards. The answers, all the answers that I need are inside of me, right? So Pisces on this particular deck here, this is the Light Seers Tarot deck, is the I believe, well, Pisces is the I believe sign, and it rules 12th house. 12th house is about spirituality, addictions, psychic ability, healing, solitude, endings, world service, secrets, emotions, those kind of things, right? And so a lot of people are awakening to their spiritual gifts. A lot of people are awakening to their psychic gifts, right? And you awakening to your psychic gifts, you want to start paying attention to your gifts. So if you believe something, all you need to do is go with a belief about something and just go with that belief. You can ask source later for clarity about whatever, but all the answers that you need are inside of you. You want to ask source for complete and total clarity. But what about whatever it is that you believe, before you are overwhelmed, before you are uh, because then on this particular deck, this is a Light Seers Tarot deck, by the way, and we'll be using quite a few decks here. This is the Light Seers Tarot deck. Before you are overwhelmed, on this deck right here, the card is, it looks like you have a dark wolf and light wolf energy, and a person who is overwhelmed, emotionally overwhelmed by something. You don't want to be in a space where you're so emotionally overwhelmed by something like you just did not see what pack people are running with, right? You want to be fully enlightened, right? You want to be fully enlightened, right? So all the answers that you need are inside of you. And you rule 11th house, right? So you don't want your 11th house impacted. So your 11th house is about friendships, community, goals, hopes, wishes, awareness, humanitarianism, technology, the future. You don't want those things impacted, especially if you've had them impacted in the past. Your sign is a lone wolf sign, and you want to make sure that you are protecting your energy as best as you can. Okay. All right. The moon is in a waning crescent moon in Pisces, and it's the I believe sign. The last quarter moon, actually, it's a last quarter moon in Pisces. If you're watching this on Tuesday, and this reading is for the Wednesday, the 18th, June 18th through Wednesday, June 25th. June 25th starts a new moon in Cancer. And if you remember, the first moon that we had for the year in the Gregorian calendar year was in Cancer, and it was a wolf moon, right? So you want to know what pack you're running with, like what people you're associating with, and but you want to know yourself first. Here we have creative flow 857. So stay focused. Stay focused. You are ready. Your angels are telling you that that the creative flow of ideas is coming fast now. There's a lot being fed to you, and it's not essential that you remember or absorb it all right now. But sit quietly in meditation for a few minutes and write down anything that comes up. Continue to write things down throughout the day, but make sure you are getting out and getting some sun. Understand? Get out and get some sun. So somebody is built strong. Somebody is built tough. You have an innate spiritual understanding of when to close out cycles, but stay focused. Stay focused. Somebody is where they are supposed to be in life right now. Geographically, you are where you're supposed to be in life right now. Emotionally, spiritually, you are where you're supposed to be in life right now. And you want to know who sees you as competition. You want to know who is on the dark side of fire. You're inspiring energies, right? You want to know who sees you as competition, right? In an unhealthy way, right? Who could cause chaos and confusion in your life. So you are ready. All the answers that you need are inside of you. So someone is developing some kind of a prayer life. This is who's trying to loop you into some things, right? Who will put you in a karmic cycle. You need to know those things, but all the answers are inside of you. So source wants you to stay focused. So when the moon is in Pisces, the last quarter moon being in Pisces, which kicks off on Wednesday. So I don't know which day you're going to be watching the video, but it's a deeply spiritual and introspective time, perfect for emotional release, intuitive healing, and closure. It invites you to surrender and trust your inner wisdom and let go of illusions or escapism before the next lunar cycle begins, right? Before the next lunar cycle begins. So here's the questions for source for you. What emotional wound is ready to be healed or released? What emotional wound is ready to be healed or released for my Aquarius, right? So high vibrating Aquarius is innovative, independent, and also visionaries. But low vibrating Aquarius are detached, unpredictable, and also aloof. So remember, we started out this cycle in the moon in Gemini. So that's the duality, right, of your zodiac sign. So it's not just team Aquarius. If you were high vibrating Aquarius and you're around low vibrating Aquarius, right? So yeah, here we have the Four of Cups here. So someone has poured out a lot. Someone has poured out a lot, right? Here we have the Four of Cups here. We're talking about apathy here. Someone has poured out a lot, right? But something has already ended. Something has already ended, right? Yeah, something has already ended. I feel like when I'm looking at here in your cards here is that Source is putting you around a divine group of energies where things just kind of flow, like in terms of music. It flows like in terms of just like creativity. It flows in terms of, but what I'm also seeing here in your cards is that you're keeping, because I'm seeing light here, you're keeping things light and you're keeping things both light in terms of keeping things out during the day, right? Here's the Four of Wands here. This is going to be critical for you all. No night activities with people you are just now meeting, okay? Some energies feel like something is their way or the highway. And this is where someone may have mixed up some things in the past. This is the Four of Wands here. So four is emperor energy, right? But it speaks to fourth house. So fourth house is about family, home life, sense of security, ancestry, self-care, traditions, inner emotions, maternal figures, pets, those kind of things, right? This fire also speaks to sunlight, right? So you all shine bright in dark spaces, right? And your sign is a loner sign, right? Whether you're a man or woman, it does not matter. You know, a lot of men think they are, can handle themselves at night, but I'm just gonna leave it at but right? Source really, really wants you all to, like I said, you poured out a lot. There's some energies who are familiar with you. They're familiar with kind of like where you live, like, and some energies who are familiar with you may have already shared, like, where you worship, like your religious background, your, if you've dated people of the same gender, or your mental health, what kind of thing. So source is saying keep things light and keep it during the day. Keep things during the day. Keep things during the day, right? So in other words, wherever, remember, water is shaped and guided by the earth that holds and surrounds it. Okay, just so we're crystal clear. In other words, wherever you all are from. So if you and some energies are trying to keep themselves connected to you, chained to you, right? This is a religious organization, 5 right here. A hierophant organization is trying to keep themselves chained to you because something has closed out. Here's the number 7 right here. Something has ended, and they're still trying to keep themselves connected to you by any means necessary, right? But a light has already shone on something that they said or something that they did. So they started something, they created something, and now something is closed out, right? Something has closed out, but you can't stop something that was already contaminated. They've already contaminated people's ear gate and eye gate about you, right? So I don't know where people live or like where you are planted or wherever you are. I don't know where you're geographically or whatever, but something happened during Saturn return. Is this right here? Some words or something was said. 2 and 1 is 3. Something was said during Saturn return about you. In other words, something was said behind your back. Okay, during Saturn return, right? Something that somebody was a bully, or that somebody has a smart mouth or something. And again, we're keeping the vibrations high, but just you so you know, some words were put out there about you, which obviously is a lie. And it was put out there about someone's first house, your personality, your temperament, your appearance, your self-image, your first impression of people, self-awareness, outlook on life, right? So some energies created this whole persona around you, that somebody is gay, that someone is depressed, someone who is likes to have a good time, maybe like a party person, is like into church or whatever the case may be, but somebody is also a bully, they have a smart mouth. I mean, in other words, in other words, somebody is really trying to ruin, I mean, just, and stuff has traveled all around the world. Just lies, lies, and on top of lies, right? This is basically someone who's trying to ruin your 11th house. And remember, you are rule 11th house. But these were words, complete and total defamation of character. So all the answers that you need are inside of you, and you'll be able to tell who has been told what, really, again, by how people respond to you when you're talking to people. Something is now behind you, but you'll know when you're talking in group with groups of people. So like I said, make sure during the your stay when you're in spaces now that something is over during the day, staying out, staying near during the day, stay near water. This right here is water. Something was created that's going to keep things flushed out for you. So the earth is covered by a large percentage of water, so you want to stay near water, you know just to kind of flush all of this stuff out, with these people said. It sounds like somebody has, whoever you may have left behind, are just trying to drag you down to a lower frequency. Ridiculous. You probably would have walked away from two energies a long time ago had you known somebody would try to drag you into some kind of lie or a bunch of lies, because they're going through a tower moment. You're in a very vulnerable time right now, but the tower is just coming down on some energies. So be very mindful of being around people who just create stories about people, and you're just sitting there listening to that. Protect your ear gate and eye gate. People who are just creating stuff. And somebody is familiar with those types of energies. All they do is just sit around and gossip about people. That's all they do. Just sit around and gossip. Well, you know this and you know that. You don't know a thing about anything until they start saying, well, you know this and you know that. Also, I'm going to say this again. If you are a reader, if you're new to reading cards or just anything that you put online, be very careful of what you put online. Like, because, like people, unless you're a celebrity and people, you got paparazzi taking pictures and all that stuff and putting your information on social media, be very careful about what you put online, because you got some energies that are pretty obsessed. This is right here was in the Tower card, first and eighth house, pretty obsessed with carrying stuff all over the world about you, especially if they feel like you've closed out a cycle and they're no longer attached to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. They will create stuff that's not even there, right? So somebody created something about, somebody could be in the music industry or somehow connected to music or whatever the case may be. You could be a person who is a music lover or if you were somehow once connected to music, that may not even be something that you're doing anymore. Something has ended. It's like these energies wanted to end your north node. Here's the 10, this number 10, which is your north node, like end you and somebody else's north node. I mean, just doing the absolute most obsessed. North node would be your career, your life goals, your achievement, public image, the masculine side of things, social status, your fame. Like somebody is just doing the absolute most to just end somebody. And these are well, two types of energy. I can't even say two energy, but just to keep themselves changing you. But anyway, something is already over. All of this was going on behind your back. So see this water right here, right here. Yeah, as disappointing as something is, source is allowing you to continue to transition. That's why I said somebody's in a very vulnerable space. Make sure you stay near water. Not necessarily that you live near water, but make sure you get out, you drink your water, you mind your business, listen to your water sounds, protect your energy as much as you possibly can. Stay out during the day until you feel comfortable, like you're listening to your intuition, where you feel comfortable being around energies. But that's what I'm saying. What emotional wound is ready to be healed or released? Somebody has gone through some really traumatic relationships with people in the past where, like I said, until you feel comfortable being around certain energies, I mean, really, really comfortable, and you'll know. This is why somebody, this traumatic. You've gone through somebody has really gone, so be gentle with yourself. Source is trying to put you around energies where you can live a softer life, where you can live a softer life. But this is what a lot of people have in common. A lot of people have in common. That's why some people start at Five of Swords in a conversation, because people have played so many mind games on them. Please be gentle with yourselves, Aquarius. And again, I'm talking about your 11th house, because people have done so much to mess up their future just because they wanted to keep somebody chained to them, playing all these mind games, saying all this stuff about them behind their back. They can't even enter into any social circles. But let me tell y'all what I'm seeing here again. Let me show you what else I'm seeing here. All these mind games. So be careful, be very mindful of, people who want to play all of these little silly mind games with you. Be totally coherent. No drinking around people, smoking, all of this other stuff, people you just met, all of this other stuff. Because people have spread so many lies about you, it's not even funny. And even if this was your past, this was your past, or if you were depressed or whatever the case may be, these energies are listen, these are somebody's exes doing this. And somebody's family members are just partying and having a good old time with these people. These are, no wonder somebody is in such a vulnerable state, because somebody doesn't even have the support of their own family members. Yeah, Five of Pentacles. And something about somebody's, maybe your inner child may have always felt like this, just totally uncovered and unprotected. Just makes somebody sick to their stomach. So something about being around two energies who are impulsive, aggressive, and impatient. They want people to believe that they're courageous, energetic, and pioneering, but they're impulsive, aggressive, and impatient. These two energies, being around somebody was raised by these two energies who don't have a nurturing bone. Whoever these energies are, they just aggressive. They just very impatient. They can't stay focused. One has succumbed to passive and powerless behavior. The other one is egotistical, materialistic, and forceful. All for them, all it's just all about partying hard, like teenagers. And so something has been really, really sickening to a younger person. But this is you and someone else. It could be you and your kids or whatever the case may be. And they feel like, why did they even talk to these energies? Why do they even talk to these energies behind your back? Why do they even have a conversation? I don't know who. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all, if you are a reader, please keep your personal business off of social media, because these are the type of energies that are so impulsive no matter what you say on social media. Let's say, for instance, these are like family members and you have kids, and your kids feel like, okay, well, they're family, so I should just be able to talk to family about something. If you are a reader and you're putting something on social media, these are the types of obsessive energies that will watch you but won't support you. No matter what you put out on social media, you put out I was about to say CDs, uh, really dating, or tapes, right? For back in the day. But anything that, any kind of products or whatever you put out, they won't support you, but they'll impulsively create some kind of chaos and confusion that'll lead people, because misery loves company. Just impulsive, aggressive energies. So sources saying, but somehow want to keep be kept in a loop about what's going on in your life because misery loves company. This is the kind of stuff that some people are inspired by, just misery. So sources saying, but it's always done behind somebody's back, just sneaky, because that for them gives them a softer life. So source is saying to you, keep your vibrations high, because these energies play some kind of role in your depression. You maybe, for some of you all, like music being kind of like a soothing space for you, like that, just the vibration of sound. But had you known, had you and somebody known ahead of time, you and somebody would have walked away from, these energies a long time ago. So would have walked away from you and these energies a long time ago. Also, again, I don't know who this is for. Don't know who this part is for. Remember, water is shaped and guided by the earth that holds and surrounds it, right? This also, to some degree, for some of you all, again, take only what resonates with you. And again, if you are a reader, put none of your personal life into, try not to, because if you all have obsessive in-laws who always feel like you're judging them, instead of them being mature enough to say, you know what, okay, time has passed, they apologize or whatever, they'll try to make something even worse for somebody, um, behind your back, saying that you are the bully, that you're the one that's playing mind games when you are really, really not, even though they can see the physical evidence of it's making someone else sick to their stomach. They're not taking no accountability whatsoever. None. None. Still acting like teenagers. Yeah. So you got a message that's coming through. You got a message that's coming through. Somebody would not go back around these energies if they saw a pig fly through the sky, because someone really loves you deep. Someone really, really loves you deep. Yeah, they wouldn't pay them any attention. Somebody now sees why you don't pay these energies any attention. Everything for these energies right here is just a party. Everything is just party hard. They'll create something to create, just have a party. I mean, anything to have drinks or whatever flowing, like this life is just one big party. So you know your worth and you know your value. But something is coming right to your front door. Somebody now knows their worth and their value. And I feel like for you, you broke some kind of a generational cycle chain and curses, but something is coming full circle for you. I don't know who this is for. So, but you knowing your worth and your value. Um, what else? Something else is coming to me for your reading too. Yeah. How can Aquarius better trust their intuition right now? How can Aquarius better trust your intuition right now? Yeah. Something has gone all around the world. Something has gone all around the world. These energies has created such a distraction around your mental health, whoever these energies are, around your mental health, around this talking about you behind your back, trying to drag you into some kind of lie about something, you know, soon as somebody walked in a door, soon as somebody walked through a door, that's all they heard was something about your drinking, your sex life, your all of this conversation going on behind your back, trying to drag you into something. I mean, it's like I said, it made somebody just feel the lowest of low. And I feel like for some of you all, you may have heard the same thing about them. I mean, this is generational. Yeah. So I feel like here's the summer. So you being out in the sunlight, this is what I'm talking about right here. You being out in the sunlight and keeping something, during keeping out in the sunlight during the day. you're going to start seeing like the physical evidence of something that you may have seen, possibly in your childhood. Uh, Looking at your cards here. Remember also too, the Judgment card is retrograde. I want to say until October the 14th. And I put that on my social media. I put that's Pluto retrograde. It went retrograde May 4th, and it'll be retrograde until October 14th, right? So that'll be 162 days. It creates an emotional roller coaster, right? So you're rising above the judgment of other people and you're not judging other people, but something has really made you and someone just sick to your stomach, just sick to your stomach, because it could, the sacral chakra, so the root chakra, sacral and solar plexus chakra deals with the physical aspect in terms of like the auric layer. And this is, again, you're not judging anybody, but once you see something when you're younger and you recognize something as an adult of how people can go from this to that, there is no judgment. It's just really compassion towards something. And something has just made somebody sick. Something has really made someone sick to even pay attention to certain things. That's why you know your worth and your value. Again, there's no judgment at all. None whatsoever. So some energies in your family had to somehow find something to judge you on. So if you were ever depressed, they somehow not connecting their behavior to possibly if you were depressed, or but somebody had to move their water somewhere to flush all of that out. If you were in a same-sex relationship or sang or played an instrument or loved music or whatever, a lot of things were flushed out just to heal. Music is very healing. And then something trying to drag you into something, just madness. Looking at your cards here, just complete and total madness. Yeah, so there's a Judgment card. You're rising above the judgment. Yeah. Even judging some of you all's parenting skills, for real. All of this going on behind your back. Because trust and believe that any of this stuff, I'm telling you, with the way I'm telling y'all, with the way y'all think and the way you all talk, Aquarius, had any of this stuff been said in your face, somebody would have gone around. See that this world card right here? You'd have gone around a circle and read everybody for filth. You'd have gone straight around a circle and read everybody. So, but you rather keep it high vibrational. Here we have the Four of Pentacles here. So looking at your cards here, Four of Pentacles, you are conservative with your time for a reason. But again, you don't judge anybody. You've seen enough. This is right here. Somebody has seen enough. You've seen enough. So emotionally, you feel like you've hit the jackpot. That's why you don't judge people. So anybody that's coming across your path, I'm trying to help you. Listen, anybody that comes across your path, Aquarius, looking at the cards here, thinking that you're judging them based on all the stuff, the stuff you've seen growing up, they really don't know you. They really, really don't know you. They may want to keep their mouths closed. They really don't know you. Yeah, here we have the Eight of Swords here. Yeah. So anybody who want a destiny swap with you, that's what they'd have to go back to see that. They would have to go back to see what you saw. That's why you don't judge people. That's what made you a better humanitarian, the stuff that you've seen already. If anything, it's made you an even more compassionate person. So anybody that looks at you and assume that you think you better than somebody else, not with what you've seen. So that's why people feel like they hit the jackpot when they come across you, because they feel like, okay, this person is a really compassionate person. You're not walking around judging anybody like what? Oh yeah, people don't really know you. Here we have, don't give yourself a headache. Love up on yourselves more. But yeah, you poured out a lot looking at your cards here. And so people do feel like they hit the jackpot when they come across you, because you're not judging anybody. And so when people come across and feel like they want to swap destinies with you, they starting at where your heart is right now, right? That's why people want to keep themselves connected to you and keep you, they want to be kept in the loop of what's going on in your life. But for real, looking at your cards here, somebody has gone through hell. Looking at this right here. So if they jumping out of a treasure chest because they feel like they can judge you based on maybe your, past mental health, or like your, if you were in a same sex relationship, or your music, or whatever the case may be, like they know as well try again. That would not phase you in the chat. That wouldn't even phase you. Yeah, somebody's a Cambian spirit. And go tell that to somebody else. Here we have the new one is extra special. So pour into yourself more. Heal people just move differently. Yeah. Your mental health is just as important as your physical health. So I don't know who I'm talking to. Somebody's a succubus spirit. Yeah. Dancing around your home as if no one is watching. Yeah. This is somebody's ex. Somebody who's connected to your ex child trying to judge you. Somebody has an envious spirit. They wouldn't want your life growing up. They regret lying to you about something. Yeah. Child, please. Here we have the answers you seek are coming. That's why I feel like looking at your cards here, you don't have to pay certain people any attention whatsoever. They just obsessed with your life because of your heart. This is the part where somebody sees your heart today, right? But somebody don't see how brokenhearted your heart was. That's what this is right here. So yeah, don't get any energy. None. Zero, zip, zilch. No energy whatsoever. None. You have the gift of telepathy. This is a transference of thoughts, feelings, or ideas, whether they're intuitively, emotively, or superconsciously. Yeah. If you sad for it's sad for energies and praying for energies. Somebody's really a prayer warrior. You're not judging people. That's why people trying to phase you out. Like, good luck with that. Looking at your cards here, you're in a creative flow. Yeah. So all the answers that you need are inside of you. So meditate. Yeah, meditate. So whoever I'm talking to, I feel like looking at the energy I'm picking up on your reading is that people don't even know the half. That they don't even know a fourth of the stuff that you've seen. So what? Deepening. Once you're on earth for enough lifetimes, your old soul will begin for non-grasping, detachment, and surrender. They bring the peace of God. This right here. Somebody wants your life. They want to swap lives with you. This is what I'm seeing like here. But see, again, like this right here, your ancestors are just yeah. That's why you looking back and you're looking at how like restricted this is the person this you right here looking back going, are they serious? Are they for real? Really? They have no idea. So for some of you all, the only solution for you was to move your water somewhere else because all you saw around you was death. For real. That's all you saw around you was death. That's all. That's the only word I can use was death. Somebody was chained to death. That was it. So the what's interesting looking at your cards here is sometimes you don't see. I feel like somebody. Okay, your energy looking at your cards. And I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. Your sign is your sign is an innovative sign, meaning that if somebody remembers, if you geographically relocated, let's say for instance, source had to maybe geographically relocate some of you all, but if you remember, like that's why I talk about journaling so much. Some of you all may have started seeing colors of gray, like you started becoming color blind, right? Like your sight started becoming like things started looking old for you. That was like source really in the physical realm. Source was phasing out, like it's like you were seeing stuff. Only thing I can kind of sort of relate it to is that there's a I want was this the trying to see it was a movie. What was the name of the movie? It was a movie I want to say that Arnold Schwarzenegger played in, because I'm looking at this right here, and I usually refer to this as Total Recall. But what is the other movie that the Terminator, right? The Terminator. There is a scene. I'm trying to remember which one, which Terminator. I'm not going to spend too much time trying to overthink this. But anyway, there was a scene where, in one of the movies, where things just started looking like he was basically leaving the past in the past. But stuff started looking like it was like it had already passed, like the past was behind somebody. So if you were leaving a job, leaving a geographical location, it's like you were leaving the past behind you. And I can sort of liken your reading to, if sometimes you don't realize the beauty in a place, the duality of a place that you've left until after you've left it. Your spirit was already somewhere else. This is your Saturn return. Your spirit was already somewhere else before your physical body arrived, if that makes sense to somebody. Emotionally, you were already somewhere else. You already spoke something else into existence before your physical body arrived. No matter how, remember, time is relative. So no matter how long ago you spoke something into existence, your physical body may have just arrived, but your spirit was already there, if that makes any sense. So that's how powerful words are. So when you speaking things into existence, be very careful with your words. All the answers that you need are inside of you. You have everything inside of you. So when you're around people and you're talking about certain things and you've already seen certain things and you're wondering if somebody is whatever it is, all the answers are inside of you. You've already seen it before. You've seen it before. You've seen literally from the rooter to the tutor. You've seen it all. You've seen it before. You don't even need to take too much time to process it. You've seen it before. That's why Source is saying all the answers are inside of you. So I don't even know. Somebody wants your life. Mm-mm. Yeah. So whoever, I don't know who this is for, but yeah. You had three energies that were trying to stop you from dancing under the sunlight by saying you were depressed, but something is over. Something is over. Some energies were trying to stop everything for you. They don't even know you. They created something, they don't even know you. Trying to restrict you, don't even know you. Just creating stuff. Total, complete and total abuse of position and power. But something has already started. Like I said, the tower has already started. Yeah. Somebody feels like your back was against the wall when their back is against the wall, whoever this is. Yeah, somebody regrets lying to you about something. You have the gift, like I said, the gift of telepathy. Yeah, somebody was trying to stick this right here. As soon as you walk through a door, look, as soon as you came through a door, some energies are like, okay, we need to restrict this energy right here. So when you look back, somebody will be able to see exactly what, you know, what somebody talks about. Somebody feel like, okay. And this is really because of your spiritual gifts. It's really because if you want to look at it deeper. So you have a lot of money coming back to you. You and somebody have a lot of money coming back to you. But something made somebody cry. Something really made somebody cry. Like really made somebody lament. Like, what is wrong? Anyway. Mm-mm-mm. It's Eight of Swords here. It's Eight of Swords, Eight of Wands here. Yeah. Something is coming back fast. This is Eight of Wands here. Yeah, something happened really, really quickly. Yeah, something happened really, really quickly. There's some kind of homecoming is happening here. Somebody could also be going to a wedding. Somebody could be getting married. Whoops. Somebody could also be getting married. But this, yeah, something closed out quickly. Something was just closed out quickly. Yeah, this is the, yeah, somebody was basically saying, I mean, if I told y'all everything I see in these cards with all the stuff that was said about you, it don't even really make a difference. It don't even really make a difference. So, but anyway, that's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. These energies did what they did and went right on back to acting like nothing happened. Don't even know you. So something is coming right to you in someone's door. And that is what I have for you. But yeah, let's see. The answers you seek are coming. Yeah. Yeah, don't even give yourself a headache over this kind of mess. Or try not to. But that's what I have for you. So someone has a new one that's extra special. New one can mean anything. It can be a new job, new love interest, new puppy, new cat, whatever. But something is coming across your path. But something really made somebody like kind of just weep, because the fact that somebody would abuse these energies, would abuse their power and their position to do something to you and someone else the way that they have done. I'm gonna leave that part out your reading. But anyway, that's what I have for you. Yeah. You're learning how to detach from energies who abuse their power and their position. All right. That's what I have for you. All right. Bye.